Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to InterVarsity 2022. I was actually going to expect one of those quonk, 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 but you guys actually are delivering. Thank you very much. Glad you guys are all here nice and early. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Troy. Please call me T-Bone Troy. I am your MC for the next 2 days. Lucky you. I am very excited to be here presenting and introducing the presenters for today and the next 2 days. It's going to be one hell of an event, and I'm very excited to be in the city of Bloem, my first time. So very fantastic. Who else is here for the first time? Raise your hand. Okay, welcome. Very nice to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, my job as the MC is to make sure things run according to time and on schedule. I like being punctual. Obviously, we're not getting off to a good start, but that's okay. Starting 15 minutes late, but we'll make up for it in the course of today. Let's go over some ground rules, as is my job. Smoking. If you want to smoke, please don't. It's really bad for you. But if you must, you can go find a little place in the back there outside. Toilets, yes, last time I checked, we're all humans and it's still a necessity. It is in the corner there. Don't be embarrassed, we all need to do it. I know that there are some presenters who get nervous before presenting. I'm not going to look at you directly because you know who you are. Guys, then also in terms of drinking and responsibility, I think it's absolutely necessary just to mention that we are at a beer event and it is super important that we behave and drink responsibly. I think we all know our limits. I think we all know how to drink in moderation. So please pace yourself. There is some water from CBSA. Thank you very much. So just please make sure to stay on track. Bars open at 11. But again, take it easy. Right, I think we're going to go straight into welcoming a few people on stage. I hope they're ready. And I think well, firstly, let me just say, welcome to our delegates. Welcome to our industry experts. Welcome, students. You know, I was once a student. Anyway, guys, it's great to be in Bloem. It's great to be at the Central University of Technology. Again, my first time here. Give it up for our host. Another round of applause, please. I'm going to welcome on stage. Actually, we do actually need to give a big round of applause to SAB, who's been part of the competition for the last 15 years. Let's give a round of applause to SAB, our main sponsor. It's absolutely fantastic to have them on board again and to continue their sponsorship and their partnership. I think it would be amiss if I didn't mention some of the other sponsors because we are growing, this competition is growing, and we do need all the support we can get. So let's go through them very quickly. We've got the Global Zone Innovation and Technology, GZITech. We've got Heineken, of course. We've got Food Focus. We've got the Beer Association of South Africa. And we've got the CAFSAB, that's Olga's Food Sustainability Program. We've got Food Bev CETA, Cactus Craft, the Craft Beer Association of South Africa. Thank you guys, these ones. We've got Lallemand, we've got PDTS, the Product Development Technology. I really printed this small, guys. You'll forgive me. And Anton Parr, thank you very much. Guys, round of applause for our sponsors. Thank you very much. I am actually reading my notes now. Just a reminder about the venue and your safety. Please do not wander too far out of the campus grounds. Please make sure, if you do, you leave with friends, and please make sure you get home safely throughout the course of the weekend. Right, let's welcome on stage 3 people. And they are going to be talking to us a little bit about the competition, about the history. and a few other things in terms of this weekend. Please welcome on stage Dr. Olga de Smit, Event Organizer and Deputy Director, Food Research, Biotechnology.
Good morning. So I'm not much of a talker and I'm not a walker either, so I'm just going to stand here, like if the camera can zoom in a little bit closer. So welcome to all of you. This event it's for you, it's about you, and we hope to develop you every year we do this. So as the event coordinator, I just want to declare the InterVarsity Brew 2022 officially open. So Troy actually said everything. I don't think I have to add a lot. I just want to tell you to look around. The person sitting next to you, across the table from you, or behind you, those are your peers, your future collaborators maybe, your co-workers, maybe your boss, maybe your subordinate. So welcome to your beer family. Take this opportunity to network. Everybody's here. Troy mentioned all the beer companies. Your future employers might also be here, so take this opportunity and make the best of it. And then just a warm welcome to the Vol University of Technology. Where are you guys? Hands up, okay. So VUT joins us for the very first time this year, so they're the newbies. Welcome, guys, and we look forward to see the beers that you've brewed. Right, you will notice on your jackets that there's some new branding for the InterVarsity Brew. So I'm going to give our label judge convener, Meraldi Kotze, a chance just to introduce the brand to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. How are you? Good. It's great to have you in Bloemfontein. Welcome to those who are visiting for the first time. It's a cozy atmosphere outside with the rain, so it's lovely to have you. May I switch over to that mic? If you would please focus your eyes on the screen, then you won't see me reading my notes. And I promise you, when these were written, it came sincerely from my heart, so even though it might seem like it's a script. A brand is no longer what we tell the consumers it is. It is what consumers tell each other it is. Therefore, we cannot just make the logo bigger. We need to make the story more meaningful. When an event brings people together, it has already become a brand in the minds of those who take part. InterVarsity Brew is more than an event. It is something that people and companies want to be a part of. An emotional connection has been made. It's this invisible brand that keeps people coming back. And the better the perception of the brand, the greater the commercial value. A special role player in the brand experience of the InterVarsity Brew is the CUT Hotel School. You have become legendary with praise going around on and off campus that if the CUT Hotel School is involved in your event, then it's guaranteed to be a success. You have built a reputation and a brand of your own of exceptional quality and professionalism. So a special thank you to CUT Hotel School that has been part of the organizing team for the InterVarsity since 2019. We can give them a round of applause. What makes a brand great isn't just one amazing thing. It's a combination of several things. It's not just a logo, it's not just a tagline, it's not just its audience, it's all of that and much, much more. Creativity is found in the recipes and the combination of ingredients that goes into making a craft beer and a label design. Intelligence is captured with a high five to resemble teamwork that creates a feeling of success and a breakthrough. It is the chemical engineers and the food scientists of the world, of South Africa, that makes the best craft beer. Therefore, intelligence is a big part of what makes the InterVarsity Brewing and Tasting Competition a success. Responsible is the underlying and overlaying theme of this event, its participants and stakeholders. The budding yeast cells are part of the brand elements and aimed at the informed target market who will know exactly what it is. It is not a number 8. InterVarsity Brew is a brand that captures the essence of a unique event that brings universities and companies across South Africa together in a creative, intelligent, fun, professional, and challenging InterVarsity Brewing and Tasting Competition. Ladies and gentlemen, Olga and I introduce to you the InterVarsity Brew brand established in 2022. And now back over to Troy.
It's actually very warm up here. Guys, let me thank you, Meralda. I think that was fantastic. Very happy to see a new logo elements being introduced. Fantastic to see. So congrats to you and the team. Let me introduce the co-founder of the competition. He's a trade brewer at SAB for the Inland Regional Area. Please welcome Anton Erasmus.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. After last night, I shall speak slowly and deliberately, as we have a bit of an echo. And I've also deliberately got some notes here, which I don't normally talk of, because there's quite a bit to speak about, but I will definitely not be longer than 10 minutes. Just quickly, a welcome to this growing and established beer brotherhood and sisterhood run by our South African students. We are very proud to have you here. Welcome, guys. I've been assigned, and very happily, to just give you a little resume of what happened and where this event started. There are some people in this audience living proof of where it started between 2004 and 2006, where the Food Bev CETA, the then IBD Institute of Brewing and Distilling, and SAB, under the aegis of people like John Cluett and others, at Tux put on some brewing courses. Some of the folk that ran those brewing courses, some of the people that graduated out of those brewing courses are fellow students, are fellow lecturers and professors. Some are employed by SAB, and some are employed to this day by the craft industry. And from that, we started and realized that there was something to getting involved with universities. The main reason for us and for other players in the South African beer market is that there was no brewing faculty and there was no resident university in South Africa or Africa for that matter. So places like SAB have accelerated management programs to entice good students and to develop them. And we thought, what happens if we back titrate and make some fun? So in 2006, a doyen of trade brewing in SAB, Mr. Ben Lameleti, he decided on a dare from the University of KwaZulu-Natal in Pietermaritzburg to give them the microbrewing kit and put it into a room. I think it was called the Osmo Regulation Room or something, some kind of a story that they managed to get the kit into the university. I actually went to see it. It was sort of placed outside in quite a nice prominent area. But the want of universities is they'll brag about it. There are marketing departments inside universities. There's a bit of loose beer speak. And by the next year, 6 other universities had demanded and received the kit. So this was now 2007. And what is the want of our master, Mr. Ben Lameleti? He got the people together, and the UK Zen guys, via also Charles Hunter, and Megan, I'm sure you were involved, decided to have an opening teaser event at the Howick camping ground. That place will go down in history as more than just a camping ground. There's a wonderful story. We all arrived. We didn't know what was going to happen, and we obviously were setting up what we didn't then realize would be an annual event. Halfway through the event, the University of the Northwest, who had not yet had a brewery, had not yet had the money, had never spoken to us, gate crashed the party and arrived in the dark in a microbus and said, "We're interested, we want to take part." It's that event that told me that there's something special going on if somebody's willing to drive 500 kilometers on a whim and arrive and say, "We want in." Naturally, the next year, they got their kit, okay, and some of them are here today, I saw. After that, Tukkies University, via Professor Mike Heidenrich and another trade brewer, organized that Tukkies would be the host, and we had 1 or 2 extra varsities. The following year, University of Stellenbosch hosted, and unfortunately, in 2010, we lost some of our foundational sponsors due to some issues, which will remain nameless. And SCB had to make a decision. We had lots more universities, and it was quite expensive to fly people to some of the smaller centers. So we centralized the event at our training institute in Kyalami in Johannesburg, where we had accommodation and the best flights, and we also had almost a resident hotel school. This carried on until 2017, where with the disposal of the World of Beer and the disposal of the training institute, we had to find not only new sponsors, we had to find a hosting station. And we had an opportunity because we had a 5-hectoliter Hoopman plant that was a brewery that was sitting at the training institute. And we asked various universities to put through some proposals and justifications to receive that kit. And one of the provisos was, if you do that, could you help us permanently host the competition in perpetuity? Free State University and CUT, the Central University, were neck and neck. The kit went to the Free State University, and Olga and Rake via the Central University of Technology offered to take over the hosting. And with this amazing hotel school, basically we fell with our bums in the butter, and we graciously grabbed that opportunity. So I think it's very, very important that we understand that there's a history and there's a chronology to this that we've built on every year, and it's been exciting. I just want to quickly chat about some of the things that happened after 2018. We had some hairy moments making sure that everything worked very well in Bloemfontein. Some of the flights didn't work so well, but a lot of the universities were willing to travel, and they assisted us the first few years with that, and that actually went off very, very well. The major block, and I think it happened to everybody, was COVID came. And it was quite clear from some of the machinations I heard from people in SAB and in other places that all these kind of events are probably going to shut down and it's not going to work, and how are we ever going to make this happen? There was almost an expectation from the varsity as well as from some of our principals that COVID was going to shut things down. And we made a deliberate decision to actually expand despite COVID. So we held a Zoom event and a Zoom tasting, and you can write it down. It's the first of its kind in the world, and I think we did a great job, and there was no query and question about the validity and the veracity of those taste results. Such was the success that we in 2021 last year were able to build on that and use that Zoom for the other students who couldn't join us, and then we came back here. I think it was level 2.5, we were able to come back here and carry on. And the expansion, some of the expansion promises we made in 2019, we actually were able to accomplish despite COVID. And I'm actually very proud of that, because we could easily have used that as an excuse and said, well, it's okay, let's just throw the whole thing in, which I'm glad we didn't. So, folks, we are back as big as ever. There's an expanded program. We've had, for the second year, the return of some of our foundational sponsors, which is working very well for us. And that's in the name of the Food Best Feeder. And Olga and I, well, I've done it for a few years, but Olga came along with us this year. We went to DrinkTech and we tied up a whole lot of new supplier sponsors. Some of them are in the yeast game, some are in the glassware game, some of them are in the beer course game. We've got 3 sponsors lined up to help us put some beer courses together, which we promised you we would do. We've got to work with Rake and others to see which one we can use and what kinds of stuff we can offer. I was ambushed many times in DrinkTech because people had heard about this competition and they wanted to be involved. So guys, that's how big this is getting. There's international exposure, international attention, and we are in the wonderful position of being able to choose the people we want to work with. We've just got to clear that some of those suppliers and sponsors are in good standing with our established sponsors. Just say that SAB doesn't like the Rand Water Board. Clearly we wouldn't invite Rand Water Board to be a sponsor. We've got to do that now. So, and that's not the case, but that's just by example. So in that enviable position, so we're trading on the hard work we've done, and some of the stuff we promised we're going to be able to deliver for you. I just want to also say that there's been a very, very hungry SAB and CUT organizing committee that have been doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes. And the visit to Munich in September, we were able to give and receive as a result of that. And Olga made a lot of friends in Munich, and it's going to work for us. Just a couple of thanks for these, on these sponsors and some of our foundational sponsors, just deliberately. I want to thank BASA for getting involved, CBASA as well, the Craft Beer Association, and for their affiliation. Also, unsung heroes, Chris Roth and his merry band of tasters, which I'll also be helping with later on. Chris is an unsung hero. He is a doyen of tasting in South Africa. His international credentials are entire, and it makes our tastings very, very verifiable and puts a lot of veracity behind the tasting. The Beer Judge Certification Program is established for craft beer tasting. We hope to make some changes to that next year. We've got some exciting tasting proposals to put forward, but it's established, and I think some of you this year already did some of the tasting. We're putting on some tasting courses next year, and there are some wonderful potential prizes for people that take part and do great things with the tasting. Some interested tasting opportunities overseas. Right now, we are harnessing these new sponsors for beer tastings, which we've been doing, beer taste training, yeast donations, ingredient donations, beer course offering, and also we are going to go this year and next year to go and re-verify all your kit, make sure all the safety protocols are in place, make sure that we sign up the contracts and renew the contracts properly. And also we've got a supplier on the keg side, which we've lined up. If you guys need new kegs, including up to 100-liter kegs, we have a supplier that will give decent but slightly scrapped kegs, like a damaged handle. We're not going to use the handles in the little breweries, so we'll be coming and closing that for you guys. Also, just a special tribute as I stand here to the Hotel School as a venue, and for that crazy, amazing beer and food affair we had. I've never seen so many people in this venue. I think we had about 250 or 300 people. It was a real blaze last night. Rake Lewis for driving the academic agenda and assisting us with that. And Olga for pushing all the way with the organizing and assisting me and allowing me to develop some of the innovation stuff that we were able to offer, and to chase up some of the new sponsors. Olga, you made a huge impression on the sponsors in Munich. And the fact that I knew you and you knew me, they were very, very impressed with your endeavors in Munich. So that was great for us. So I'm going to say, guys, the program is still 2 days. And maybe I'll say it in German. Prost, But for us, cheers and have a great time. And come and see me. We need to talk about next year. Thank you very much. Thanks, Troy.
Right, we're at that part of the day when we need to start getting the presenters on board, and we've got our first presenter today. He is from Cape Town. He's from #BeerTime. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage Troy. He's a little shy.
Hello, everyone.
It's me, T-Bone. Nice to meet you. Guys, it's me. It's me. I had you. Okay. Guys, Olga wanted someone to talk about something inspiring. She wanted to talk about someone who's been in the beer game for quite some time. So I said, me, I could do something. So I have presented something which hopefully is inspiring and can get some of you guys, the youth, a little bit more excited about beer industry, and not just the brewing process, not just the tasting process, but the things that go around it. So it's actually my first time presenting Beer Time, so I'm quite chuffed. Beer Time, the journey. And let's go through it. I'm sure you can all see it. Great. What, who, what, where, why. It all started in 2011 when I started homebrewing, and I had that light bulb moment where I just thought, wow, what is this? Why am I able to make a beer? It was an amber beer at the time. It was a syrup-based beer, and I made it with a friend in a bathtub, and it was just one of those light bulb moments where I was just like, wow, this is something that I'm actually very passionate about and could get into. 2012, I decided to become a beer judge. Anton mentioned it just now, BJCP. I studied for it, I became recognized, and then I became certified, and it actually helped me improve on my homebrewing recipes, and I actually started developing better recipes and actually started winning competitions. This is where a lot of the things started to change. 2014, I decided that I wanted to branch over into social media. Instagram was pretty hot at the time, and being a late bloomer, I decided to start sharing my journey as a beer drinker. I started sharing the beers that I was tasting, and also sharing the beers that I was making at home. I am a graphic designer by trade, and so in 2016, I thought that there was still a very much a lack of design element in the beer industry, and specifically in the local beer industry. So I said, listen, let me design some labels for you. I designed some labels for one or two friends here who know about it, and actually started winning awards for it. So it was definitely something that I started to tie in my expertise with my passion. 2016, I decided to put myself in front of the YouTube camera and assess beers and criticize them constructively. And I released a few videos, and it was actually a lot of fun. I started growing the channel, and I actually entered a Celsi competition where I made it to the top 10, and Beer Time actually started to become a thing outside my own bubble. 2017 was a catalyst year for me. I shifted from video over to podcast. It was a great moment for me because it was, again, my second light bulb moment in my beer career where I was like, wow, this is something that's quite weird and quite unique. Beer podcasting. It was quite a new thing. There was maybe a handful of other guys who were doing it around the world, some bigger studios in the States specifically, but no one was doing it in South Africa. Maybe one or two guys had started before me, but it wasn't really something that was sought after. I still think a lot of people don't really know what a podcast is, but in 2017, that was, like I said, a catalyst year for me. 2017, I started branching out and doing events. I started organizing the Fools and Fans Beer Festival down in Greyton. I did that for 2 years. I worked with the Southeasters Homebrewers competition.